Hey guys, it's Gigi for GB, and uh, and I'm just putting a little comment here. You are free in the chat to do as you please. No moderators allowed. That's right. We believe in free speech. And today we're going to talk about, hey, Jehovah's Witnesses, something you guys already know. It's April 22nd, 2024, year of our Lord, and it's Nissan 14. So with that, having said that, let's get it going.
Oh, hi, Dean. How you doing? It's good to see you again, Dean. Hi, guys. Sit down.
So check it out. It's right there. From the Jewish, all these Jewish websites, they're all going to tell you that today is Passover, right? And good, but we already know this. What's the point? The point is this. We've already talked about how Jehovah's Witnesses made the changes. You don't have to turn in your time. What else did they say? You could wear beards. Girls can wear pants. What other changes? Well, this is one of them. You see, before the Jehovah's Witnesses, they would live and die by the 14th of Nisan. Remember? Or some would call it the 14th of Nissan. And it was everything as a Jehovah's Witness. So here's the thing. Now, it's like the old Elaine. Remember the old Elaine in Seinfeld? It means whatever the hell you want it to mean. And so, let's see if I have that clip. No, I must have deleted it. But here's the point. So now with the new arrangement that they had the memorial 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just make it up as you go along. So now, not only do we not do it on the 14th of Nissan, I like to say that the 14th of Nissan. Now, hell, we could use Manischewitz wine. It doesn't matter anymore. And guess what doesn't matter anymore? You could use potato bread. It doesn't matter anymore. And guess what else doesn't matter? 1914 doesn't matter anymore. Hell, 1975 doesn't matter anymore. So now what we're seeing is a religion where nothing matters anymore. Today, guys, today is the 14th of Nissan. And tomorrow and next month will be the 14th of Toyota. But remember, I was just kidding. But that's the whole point. And somebody who wants to talk about this, it's XJW Jane Ho. And hey, Jane, how you doing? And so next year, Jesse, Manischewitz could be used as wine. We could be using potato bread next year. What's next? And see, and that's what today is. People would live and die. The Jehovah's would see. You're making a big deal out of it. Yes, because all of our lives we lived and died on this day. It has to be the 14th of Nisan. And now it doesn't matter. You can make it up as you go along.
So is today the Jewish Passover?
Well, according to all the Jewish websites, all of the Jewish workers that work where I work at, they didn't show up. 14th of Nisan. Passover. But it doesn't matter. You can use Manischewitz now as wine. Talk about an insult, right?
Or Reuniti
Coca-Cola.
on ice.
Huh?
Reuniti on ice.
Reuniti on ice. Hell, you could even go Coca-Cola. It doesn't matter anymore. And that is one of the many changes. What you saw here, everyone was saying, in the videos that Watchtower was wrong on this day. No. This is one of the many changes. The reason Watchtower is not celebrating the memorial today is because they've now said, listen, all of these 8 million and growing, right? 8 million, 9 million Jehovah's Witnesses and growing, according to them. They don't care. They don't care about 14th of Nisan anymore. Why? Because the governing body said we're going to do it a month early. So do you think they're going to care about the wine or the type of bread? You think they're going to care about, and the list goes on and on. So these people have been cooked. They're this what happened here today is proof, you know, that Watchtower is changing their religion, and you can't do shit. You ain't. I mean, you're powerless. You're a Jehovah's Witness, and you're like, and you're mad at me for saying this, but the next thing you're gonna be told is 1914 didn't happen. World War I did not start until the Americans went in 1917.
Man,
Because
I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't a world war. Think about it. Because according to the Jehovah's Witness logic, it was a European war. It wasn't until the Americans and the Americas got involved in the war that it became a world war. So it didn't happen in 1914. They just invent shit. Just invent it as you go along.
So you're saying that they're inventing stuff. They're just inventing it. They're just throwing it up there, seeing if it'll stick.
And it does. Our sister went to the memorial last month. What happened to the 14th of Nisan? What happened to the Passover and the blood? You know, and Moses. You know,
that I saw this video today where they were getting ready for the district convention, and Stephen Lett was interviewed. I don't know what country in Europe they rented this big stadium, and Stephen Lett. And he looks old. He's aged. He's aged real bad. And I guess he's disabled right now, or not disabled, but he's his back is bad or slipped a disc or something. But he looks old. It looks like something got a hold of him. Something that we're not supposed to talk about on TV or
that causes accelerated aging. I've heard about that. That young people are aging too. Yeah.
He looks old. Remember I told you karma?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he looked so old. He looked like the last day of the last days. Right before the last day of the last day. That's how old he looked.
So how old did he look? Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
He looked like he was so old. He didn't look like yesterday. He looked like tomorrow.
Shit.
I'm serious. He looks old. He looks all beat up.
And that could also be true that they know they're dying. They have to be. You know, I don't know. But you see, Jesse, today is proof that Watchtower. No one's going to take. Like I told Rick, no one's going to take you guys serious no more. Because here, look. I'm going to show. I'm going to show you. Check this out. I didn't get a chance to go on the show, but this is very important. So I showed up at a Starbucks with my Yuma High School criminal Christmas hat on Christmas Day about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It was a long time. So I ran into Adela, and we worked together. And she's always known me as a Jehovah's Witness, right? And she always had me up. She would, talk to me, ask me questions about the Bible and everything. But she was upset at me because I had this on. You see, they had this illusion that, like, as a Jehovah's Witness, right? They had this illusion that you were they kind of held you up a little high. You're clean cut. You have high morals. It was the facade. And so they didn't want to hear about the apostate movement. They don't want to hear about my conversion. You don't care because when you always want to remember, like, don't change. Nobody likes change. So now you have a Jehovah's Witness who's celebrating Christmas, has a beard, and then you start probably like, and then what happens with nice and 14? It don't have to be nice and 14. It just has to be the first full moon after the equinox of whatever, after the equinox, and nobody takes you seriously now. So look at our brother-in-law Paul Circuit Overs here. He wants to. A lot of Jehovah's Witnesses want to come across as biblical scholars. Now everybody knows you're full of shit because people don't like change, and people are seeing all of this change, and and their respect for you is just going down. And so that's why my friend Adela, I noticed that in her face, and she didn't want to hear it. She didn't want to, she never viewed me, didn't want to see me with this. Now, some people are happy. They go, oh, good for you that you're celebrating Christmas and this and that. But some people don't. They don't like change. And then they don't respect you. Like if you want to talk about the Bible, well, you're jumping all over the place. It's like a good friend of yours, right? He's trying to talk to you about the Bible, but he's a Mormon this month. He's a Jehovah's Witness next month. He's born again next week. You're like, dude, man, can't even make up his mind. That's the Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't even know what they believe in. And today is proof that they don't even believe in Nissan 14 anymore.
Hey, Gilbert, there's this hardcore leftist in the United States. He's an old rocker from the 80s, real dinosaur guy. I think his name is John Cougar. He's called John Cougar or John Cougar Mellencamp. And back in the 80s, when he was American, he used to have a song called, he goes, that's when a smoke was a smoke. And dancing meant everything. Dancing meant everything. What you're saying is that Nissan 14 to the Jehovah's Witness, that's when a smoke was a smoke. And dancing meant everything. In the old Jehovah's Witness, Nissan the 14th meant everything. Everything. The no leavened bread, the red wine, everything, all that. Now, nothing is important. So, do you remember that song? There was a song that man, what is his name? He used to write for Buddy Holly, old rocker from the 50s. Lisa, what's that guy's name? Paul Anka.
Paul Anka, yeah.
Anka did a song. He goes, forever, I will love you forever. And what happened? Do you remember there was a time when the passion was so great between a man and a woman, and they said forever. I will love you forever. And then you check with them back in 77 or 87. What happened to that love you promised in 57? In 57, you said, I will love you forever. But we get to the 70s and 80s, you don't love me no more. It's time for a divorce. So what were those words? What were those words? Well, that's what we're seeing. Love dies. It's funny. In humanity, love dies. The love that the Jehovah's Witnesses had for Nissan the 14, the bread, the wine, we're seeing it die in real time, like a divorce, like marital breakup. So the generation previous of the overlapping, we're living in the overlapping generation, has no love like the generation of 1914. When they said they would love you forever, they died forever loving 1914 and loved the unleavened bread. They love Nissan 14. But this overlapping generation of Jehovah's, they don't love shit. They got no skin in the game. Their traditions, they have no traditions. They're like a fiddler on the roof.
Well, it's like our Spanish-speaking friend from South America, Daniel. I told him, El Amor Acaba. There's a song from Jose that specifically talks about that. That it disintegrates, But that's a good point.
This generation of Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't have no foundation.
Yeah.
They're giving up the whole boat.
In 2024, the overlapping generation of Jehovah's Witnesses has lost the love of its founders.
Everything, Rutherford, Russell, Knorr, everything they built is turning to shit in Jehovah's organization. And remember I told you, somebody hijacked the watchtower for Jehovah, got in Jehovah's progressive chariot and slammed it in reverse.
Yeah, because look at Jehovah's Witnesses had so much love for Russell that they died wearing purple pyramids. They weren't purple triangles. Hitler knew, and his government knew that they used to have pyramids. They knew that. Come on, they had a dossier on the Jehovah's Witnesses. I go, here's your pyramid. They throw in the MF. Here's your pyramid, and they gave them a purple pyramid. And then the Jehovah's Witnesses tell you, no, that's a purple triangle. No, but the point is that the Jehovah's Witnesses loved Russell so much They went to jail and concentration camps, and they had the Purple Pyramid. That's love, Jesse. That's love. And then Rutherford, Jehovah's Witness. We can speculate some more, and France and so forth. 1975. A lot of people stayed. They love France. They held on to France being a Bible scholar, even though he didn't speak Greek.
Gilbert, we're
Much.
seeing the death. We're seeing
Mhm.
the death of traditions. It's like in Revelation. Remember, they said that the mountains would crumble to the sea. The mountains would crumble, and the stars would fall. It's true. All the institutions are dying. Look, in the founding of our country, America, uh, was it Francis Scott Key that wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic? Not the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Mhm.
The Star Spangled Banner.
Mhm.
Do you know why they were saying, "Oh, say, can you see
Mhm.
that the flag was still there"? You know why?
Go ahead.
The British had trained their guns in the naval forces on that flag, and they were bombing it, but they couldn't knock it down. Do you know why? Every direct hit on the flagpole would knock it down, but it was being held by humans, by Americans at the fort. And so before it would fall, another set of Americans would go all through the night. It was being held up by the bodies of the dead patriots, Americans. That's how much love they had for the symbolism of our country. That they would not let the flag fall. They would catch it and lift it up, and then the British would train their guns on them and kill them. And then another set of Americans would get the flag. Today in the United States Congress, the Democrats fly Ukraine flags. Where's the love of our country? It was just like the Jehovah's Witness. The Jehovah's Witnesses gave everything for Nissan 14. From our time to Russell, all came out on Nissan the 14. This overlapping generation don't give shit. They're like Ukraine Americans. They fly their flag at our capital. They're quitters of biblical proportion. They're nothing like their parents. They're nothing like their grandparents. They're nothing like their great grandparents and 20 generations back. They're worthless cowards. They're giving away the ship. They'll betray anybody, anytime, any place. They have no faith, no integrity. This whole generation is a rotten generation.
And are you ready, Jesse? Somebody is going to top you because that was a very excellent comment. Andy just said they love their beards and pants, and I would just add more for the top brothers. They love their beards and pants more, Jesse, than the Christ.
Gilbert, in the past, to go to the memorial, do you think some brothers might have given their lives under persecution?
Yeah.
They might have risked their lives. This generation finds it not important to do it on Nissan 14. Do you see the disconnect that I'm talking about?
So you're saying when we were growing up as Jehovah's Witnesses, if it was against the law to go to a memorial of Jehovah's Witnesses, and we would risk jail, possibly even death, depending on the country. Yes, I think I would have risked going to jail, and I would have gone to a speakeasy, right? Like a speakeasy type, and I would have gone to the memorial.
Gilbert, so son of a bitch traitors, not even worthy of the name Benedict Arnold or Judas Iscariot, are running the watchtower right now.
So should we add that to the title, SOB Traitors?
What short memory they have. Remember like the song Forever, I Will Love You Forever. And then 20 years later, oh, sorry, honey, I found me a new woman. And the woman goes, what? You told me you would love me forever. I gave you 10 babies. I gave you everything. That guy's an SOB that does that to his woman.
There's a guy that did that. He's one of those Mormon guys. Remember, he had a TV show. He had all those kids, and then he got some money coming in with the TV show, and he ended up leaving his wife. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I mean that's the lowest of 10 children.
That's what Watchtower did. Everybody gave their lives to go to the memorial on Nissan 14, and this generation just quits. And nobody says it, just two wetback beaners, me and you, in the corner of the planet.
Yeah.
Have you heard anybody else say this?
Andy's asking, isn't it officially the memorial today? We have a beautiful full moon here in Vancouver. Andy, according to the Jews, today is Nisan 14. And you know, like I said, at work, you know, the Jewish guys didn't even show up. Yeah, you know, we all had to work harder. So
Gilbert, I bet you if you go back to the yearbooks of Jehovah's Witnesses,
Mhm.
go back to the 70s, 60s, 50s, 80s,
Mhm.
and look at the nation, like get the 1975 yearbook where it talks about Germany. And I can't remember what yearbook talks about the Soviet Union, Russia. But I'm sure there's going to be stories of there how the brothers were in prison celebrating the memorial on Nissan the 14th.
easy. Oh, easy.
Is
There's a,
nothing to Stephen Lett and all them son of a bitch traitors. Is nothing sacred? Is nothing sacred to you, man? Is nothing sacred?
let's just ask for a favor. If you find an article, you know, tell us the Watchtower magazine, the yearbook. You know, I'm gonna start. You know, I'm gonna go, Jesse, against my.
Start off with the 1975 yearbook of Jehovah's Witnesses. It talks about Germany. And then
Jesse,
go to the Rwanda. Go to the Russia one. I'm sure it's full of them.
I'm gonna go against my gut instinct and about research. I'm gonna research this. Watchtower has articles about on the 14th of Nisan, brothers, you know, going through crocodile infested waters to get to the memorial. Remember those articles that, you know, everyone's, you know, crossing the Nile, risking the crocodiles and stuff. Watchtower write articles like that. And you're right. They are sons of Jezebels that in 2024, they would just like an oversight and start playing with the equinox moon and, you know, the first full moon of the equinox. And no, it was always the 14th of Nisan. It's Passover. And it was deliberately done to show the members of the governing body, the ruling class. You see what a bunch of idiots we have.
And Gilbert,
and this is what you say. If the governing body comes out and gives a speech and it says, brothers, you know, if we look at this Bible text in Greek, it says yabba dabba dabba doo. The brothers will start saying yabba yabba dabba dabba doo. That's what today is. You've always said that. You're the one that always said yabba dabba dabba doo, and the brothers will just hook, line, and sinker. This today is proof that is true.
Nothing is sacred in that organization. Nothing is sacred. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Nothing means nothing to the Jehovah's Witness. They're like, you know what? They are just like a foundationless organization. You know, because Jesus is a foundation. Jesus is the rock upon which the church is built. The Jehovah's Witnesses say, they admit it, they have no creed.
That's another one.
They don't have a creed. They don't have Jesus, so they don't have no foundation. Jesus talked about it. Like a man who built a house on the sand, and then the rains came.
Because my dad was
Jehovah's Witnesses, whatever the CDC says, whatever the World Health Organization, whatever the World Economic Forum, Christianity celebrated Easter, and they were right there with them, a couple of days away from them. But the real Nissan 14 comes out, Nissan 14. No, but in every year back, they always celebrated on Nissan 14.
Correct. And you know what? If you want to elaborate on that, because Dad used to be part of the Fraternal Order of Eagles when we used to go to the Kingdom Hall, and the Fraternal Order of Eagles has a creed. So does the Fraternal Order of Elks, the Moose Lodge. They all have a creed. The Marines have a creed, right? And the Marines also have a saying: "Leave no man behind," right? And so there's a whole bunch of all of the Army, Navy. Everybody has a creed. Some universities have creeds, and Jehovah's Witnesses don't have a creed.
Not only that, but they are proud not to have a creed. Go back and look up creed at the jw.org. Go look it up in their what they have written in the past about it. They are vocal. They are proud not to have a creed. They admit it, and it shows because they're a foundationless organization. Yeah. Do you remember that Seinfeld episode when that guy goes, he was naked in the subway? And then he tells Jerry, "What's the problem?" And Jerry Seinfeld's looking at him, and he goes, I'm not embarrassed of my body, my naked body." And then Jerry goes, "Yeah, there's the problem. Maybe you should be." The same thing with the Jehovah's Witness. They go, "We don't have a creed." Yeah, we know.
Mhm.
That's why you're a piece of shit organization just wandering aimlessly through the universe,
A
causing
rudder.
suicide and mayhem.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, XJW from Wyoming, I'm going to answer that question. I often wonder if the governing body knowingly knows they are misleading or they are just delusional as if they really think they are anointed. No. The first part is right. They know what they're doing, and this was a beta test. You ever heard of beta test? They're like, "Hey guys, look, we're going to have the memorial 1 month early, and look at and not one. And guess what? Look behind me, XJW Wyoming. Only two Mexicans, two Mexican Americans bring this up that they knew it and they did it as a beta test because all of those Jehovah's Witnesses all throughout that land didn't lift a finger. And I'm not talking ex Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm talking, members. Our brother-in-law didn't do shit. The elders in your congregation didn't do shit.
Gilbert,
Mhm.
if a Jehovah's Witness is 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old,
Mhm.
and his birthday didn't matter.
Mhm.
If his school play fell on that day, you couldn't miss it. For 100 years, anything a Jehovah's Witness had on this date on the calendar, if it was a baseball game, a baseball tournament, a wedding, a marriage, prison, it didn't matter. Nissan 14 came first. We sacrificed the entire humanity the last 100 years. Does that mean anything to these SOBs? I mean, my blood is boiling for all the brothers and sisters, all the moms and dads that dropped everything. They dropped dinner, they dropped the kids going to school, they dropped everything to be there on Nissan the 14th. Think about it. Think of all the sacrifice that was asked upon the Jehovah's Witnesses prior to us. That's why I always say Jehovah's Witnesses think that history begins the day they were born. No, don't forget. We have to have a good memory. We got to be good elephants if we're going to get through this son of a bitch thing together, this great tribulation that we're going through. We got to have good memory, and we got to go back to the governing body and go, "Hey, do you remember you made my mom come here? She's dead now. You have nobody to apologize to. But my mom sacrificed a lot to have the kids here. Some people were in prison and sacrificed to be there, and you just aimlessly throw it away."
Yeah.
It would be
Now, just a lot of ex Jehovah's Witnesses are thin-skinned. They're going to get upset because I mentioned that it was two Mexicans that call out the governing body. And you want to comment on
on
that or not?
this specific subject only.
Yeah.
No, because the apostates, no matter what religion, race, creed, whatever, the apostates are doing a great job.
Yes.
I'm just saying on this stupid subject that we're talking about right now. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It just takes two beaners to talk. I haven't heard nobody else talk about it. And you know what? If we're wrong, we're wrong.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard nobody talk about this.
Yeah. So I brought in race. Now I just need to bring in some, misogyny and something else to really wrap it in. The thing that disappoints me in the chat section is that nobody's fighting. Guys, we don't moderate the chat, so feel
No. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
If we were Canadian or French, same thing.
French. Yeah,
or
French,
something like that, we would be monitoring the chat call, moderating better. It just seems like when you moderate people, that's what you think of people. But we come from a great line of people. Remember the Apostle Paul reminded in the letter to the Hebrews of what great lineage they came from?
Yeah. Hebrews
That there
10,
was
11.
a real Moses.
Yeah.
that there was a real Joshua,
Yeah.
that there was a real Elijah, that there were real judges, that God is real, Jesus is real. Remember, he reminded them.
He
And
reminded
so
everybody.
us too. We come from a great lineage called Americans. We're
Mhm.
better than everybody else.
Yeah.
We have a preamble to the Bill of Rights. And then
Yeah.
we have the Bill of Rights. Everybody else just has a constitution and a creed, but we
Mhm.
beat them. Kind of like Peter Griffin when he goes, hey, we're the Jews, we're number one. Yeah, that was a cartoon. In real life, we the Americans are number one because everybody has a constitution. All 220 countries on earth have a constitution, but we have amendments to the Constitution. We're the best.
We'll celebrate the Sabbath.
That this is all unnecessary. Our life was fine the way it was.
Today's the Sabbath.
Check it out. I'm one of you guys now, huh? I'm Jewish. Yeah, Holocaust. We're number one. Look at all.
Yeah. So Jesse, not only we Americans, we're the, and Andy's having a good time because he's from Vancouver, which is probably one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth.
Hey,
up
you
in
know
that
what?
British Columbia. Hold on.
Let me get this out of the way. Vancouver's great, but they got to remember they're number two.
They're number two. So but tell them why America's so great because we went to the moon, right? Tell them about the moon.
Look, we're the greatest country on earth. And because we went to the moon before everybody. The Japanese, they're over there right now, and their rover is flipping over. And that rhymes. It's like rap. The Japanese rover is flipping over.
Mm-hmm.
And then check this out. It's over there by itself, flipping over, and it still has the capability of taking a picture of itself, flipped over, but yet it can't flip itself over.
Mm-hmm.
At least we Americans, we landed without disturbing the landscape. And then somebody told me, well, we didn't really go to the moon. Okay, we still beat you. At least we made you believe that we went to the moon. Any way you look at it, we're still better than you.
And we sold all that paraphernalia, whatever it's called. We sold all that stuff that was sold in the 50s in the millions of dollars. Everybody was buying rockets, and it's just, yeah. Now check this out. This is why America is so damn good. And I don't have my wallet's over there, but when you have the paper dollar, the dollar bill. Jesse, remember that clip where I put down that we can't organize crime that came from Club Shay Shay? And it was so awesome, that experience. He goes to China, the black guy, and the black drug dealer from America is talking to the Chinese, and he explaining to him how the Chinese can easily defeat them because they pit them one against another. And they're talking, and he goes, "You guys can't even organize crime." So they both have the different cultures have different strengths and different weaknesses. But here's the thing: the black man and the Chinese and the Russian, they do all that dirty shit. And what do they do it for? American paper. They do it for American. I mean, the Federal Reserve is the shit. I mean, even the World Economic Forum wants our money. Even Ukraine wants some of that greenback. I'm telling you, man, United States is the baddest of the baddest. Nobody rips people off like we do. We're bad. It's like Michael Jackson was right when he says, I'm bad. Yeah, we're the greatest. So, take it for, we have the best of everything.
Hey, Gilbert, and not only that, they say that diversity is our strength.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got to be woke nowadays. You got to be hip. You got to be, diverse and whatever. So I heard a diverse joke today. So there was this Russian, a Mexican cowboy, a Russian cowboy, and an American cowboy going to a bar. I don't know if you ever heard it. This is an Arizona joke. Before, this is from the Barry Goldwater days, before we had that, what's that girl's name? Katie Hubbs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Back when we had real men like Geronimo running the country. Evan Meekum, Kerry Lake, Joe Arpaio. Okay. Well, anyways, so these three cowboys walk into a bar, and the Russian goes, "Bartender, give me a bottle of your best vodka." And they give him a bottle, and the Russian is about to drink it, and he throws it up in the air, and he gives his whatever they say, perestroika, and he shoots the vodka. And the Mexican goes, amigo, what are you doing? Amigo, what are you doing? He goes, amigo, comrade, in my country, we have plenty vodka. And the Mexican is just, his head's exploding. So the Mexican cowboy goes, Cantinero, give me a bottle of your best tequila. So he mimics the Russian. He gets a drink and he throws it up in the air, shoots it, blows. And then the American cowboy goes, what? Partner, what are you doing? Partner, what are you doing? He goes, amigo, don't worry. In Mexico, plenty of tequila. So the American's getting the onda. So he goes, bartender, give me a bottle of your best whiskey. Takes a big gulp, shoots the Mexican, and the Russian goes, comrade, what are you doing? He goes, partner, in my country, we got plenty of Mexicans. So
We got plenty of Mexicans, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my ex Jehovah's Witness joke. Mm-hmm. So I guess they had just gone out of a Kingdom Hall, and they had gone over to they did it like at a Pizza Hut bartender bar.
Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, you know what? A lot of people, man, they got thin skin, and a lot of you guys that are listening got tattoos.
Tattooed love boys.
Y'all, you're tatted out love boys. And when my dad was growing up, see, he was a greaser back in the 50s, kind of like in the movies. He had the grease, and he had the. My dad would have the white shirt,
And roll up with the cigarettes right here.
He'd roll up with the cigarettes and stuff. So he was just like in the movies you see in the 1950s. So the people in Mexico that smoke weed or that had tattoos, almost all of them were like military type guys or American military. I mean, they were like I was watching this
like Navy dudes.
Like Navy dudes. I was watching this video of all of these beautiful women in Russia, Ukraine, and the republics. And all of these women and young boys are dancing. No one has tattoos. So it's an American thing, right? So naturally, my dad doesn't like tattoos. And the difference between a lot of you guys is like Jesse and I, we would love listening to my dad tell the same joke over and over again. Same stories. We didn't care. But our older brother Joe and our brother-in-law Paul, the circuit overseer, they didn't like that. So one day, my dad,
anytime he had a few beers, my dad had low alcohol tolerance. So like
he was
two Budweisers, he was flying happy.
Yeah. And so we say, I go, Dad, why do all of these people have tattoos? And he would go off on a rant and stuff. But he would say that the good news about everyone having tattoo is that in Armageddon, when the angel of death comes, they're all marked and it's easy for him to do his job.
No, but he would say, because my dad didn't study the Bible. He said he read it somewhere in the Bible. And our Jehovah's Witness brothers, they'd freak out because they know that's not in the Bible. But my dad was an old man. He used to rant like that. And he said that in the Bible, it teaches that these tattooed people are making it easier for the angel of death. And so my dad was mixing up Revelations with the ink.
Leviticus, yeah.
And so my dad was just making it. He was acting like a Jehovah's Witness. You know how the Jehovah's Witness take Bible verses from everywhere and then they give a Bible talk? That's what my dad was doing. Yeah.
But see, now looking back in retrospect, we rolled with it. We didn't have. We were Jehovah's Witness elders at the time when that was happening, and we didn't have a problem with our uncles and aunts and everybody telling their and totally like when I listen to Alex Jones talk about the Bible, I'm like, oh God, good God, it's just total bastardizes, everything like that. The Bible says somewhere, but I learned to just roll with it, just let it go. And a lot of people don't let it go. A lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses don't let it go. And I noticed that now that I'm older, that they're still Jehovah's Witnesses and they're sticklers. And it's like, dude, you don't, what good is knowing everything, but then everyone hating you, right? Yeah, no, you gotta have fun. Andy wants to get in on the action. He says, what does John the Baptist and Kermit the Frog have in common? Well, no, they're not gay, because Kermit might be gay because with all
they like locust and honey.
Locust, maybe.
Locust and honey.
I'm thinking, atrazine. That's what I was saying, gay, because atrazine. So we're gonna have to wait for him to. What does John the Baptist and Kermit the Frog have in common?
The Jordan River. Same middle name. The
Oh, that's funny.
Hey Gilbert, in keeping up with the memorial, I gotta tell you a joke. You got a minute for a joke?
Yeah.
This is Dad's. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do it because my dad was the best joke teller. But he said that in the Bible, one of the traditions that was lost, that Jesus had his disciples, and he told them, "Come and follow me, and pick up your burden and follow me."
Mm-hmm.
And so all the 12 disciples got a big old rock, the 11 this big rock, and they trekked through the desert. But Judas Iscariot got a little pebble, and he thought he was all smart, being a smart ass. And so they whacked through the valley. They walked through
I remember
the
that. Okay.
area. And so they walked all day long, and it comes around lunchtime, mealtime. And Jesus says, "Sit down. Put your burden in front of you. And as the size of your burden, let the feast be." And poof, they all have big feast, bread and wine and fish and everything.
Big
all
rock.
the disciples. And the apostle and Judas Iscariot, he got like a pea, one pea, and he was mad, So they were there for most of the
Yeah.
He just had a pea.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's thinking, the Judas Iscariot, being as badass as he is, Jesus says, "Come, pick up your burden and follow me." And so they go through the whole thing again, and they all pick up, but since they're all full, they all picked up like a medium-sized rock, and they're carrying it, a medium-sized rock, but not Judas. Judas was starving, so he picked the biggest boulder. And so they walk into the evening through the valley, and they go through the Jordan River, and they go to the other side, and they're everywhere. They go through Bethlehem, and then they get there at night, and they're resting. And then Jesus says, "Let your burden down, and let it recline, and let it comfort you, because I made you sandwiches."
Jesus made sandwiches?
Yeah, but stupid Judas, he couldn't win.
He had a big bean bag.
He took a big old boulder,
Wow. And Jesus made sandwiches, man.
Yeah.
No.
But Judas had to carry that big old stupid boulder, He didn't have
True.
to. Jesus was going to make a sandwich. Yeah.
True story. Dad would tell the same jokes, and we'd have to pretend we never heard it for the first time. But Mom would come home with us from the Kingdom Hall, and I think she would put the cross like, "Oh my, please, I hope Dad's not home, And sure enough, Dad would get home early before us because he wanted to see us, right? Because he would go to Fraternal Order of Eagles, and so it was Dad's. So Mom would try to get us to go to bed, but Dad had none. And she's like, "Déjalo, Luis, déjalo. They gotta go to school tomorrow." And Dad wasn't having it, and he's like, "It's my turn to teach you guys about the Bible." And Mom would fight Dad, no, and Dad would get us, and we already knew what he was going to say. He would sit you down and me down, and he says, "Okay, when Jesus was on earth, what did he do to people that were blind? Where he gave them sight, and people that couldn't walk, well, he healed their legs, and the people that were burnt, and he would just give a list, and we would have to answer like good children that love their dad. We would play along, and then my dad would say, "What did he do with the dead?"
No,
yeah. So the dead, he'd bring them back to life.
Yeah.
That was the last one, he said. And now we knew when he would say, "What did he do with the dead?" We knew he would say, "And what did he do with the stupid people?"
No, he said the pendejos.
The pendejos, in Spanish. Go ahead.
He goes, and then we would yell, "Nothing, papi, nothing." He goes, "That's right. You can't cure a pendejo. You're going to be born a pendejo. You're going to die a pendejo. There's no fixing it."
No, because not even Jesus could cure. He said, remember he says that not even Jesus could cure your stupidity.
Yeah, he goes, "Look it up in the Bible. Look it up in the Bible. He cured the blind, the sick, the dead." And he would list everything. But what about the pendejos? Is there any pendejos cured in the Bible? No. And that's the way my dad used to preach to us, when we were little kids.
Mhm. Yeah.
It would piss mom off and everybody else. Yeah.
Now Archie came in from a different Spanish channel, and they were with Ephraim and Oasis, and why they didn't have our friend from South America, Daniel, I don't know.
Hey,
However,
Gilbert.
hold on. She said there was a great show, but this show's better, Archie, because this show revolves around the most interesting subject: me and what my brother thinks about me.
Yeah. Sometimes we
Yeah.
get tired about you. So
Mhm.
I'll give commentary about you
Yeah,
because we're not narcissistic. We're misogynistic, but not narcissistic. Mhm. Hey, Gilbert, let's go back to our culture and it being it's Nissan 14 food, but we're Mexican. We're not Jewish. We're not Hebrew. We're not kosher. None of that.
Mhm.
So talk about Southwest. In our corner of the world, we live in a beautiful corner, culturally speaking, of the planet. We live in what is called Arizona and Sonora. We live in the little corner. And some food that is unique to the southwest corner of Arizona and the northwest corner of Sonora, our little area, San Luis Yuma area, we have a food called taco. Now, everywhere there's tacos. Some people call them flautas, like flutes.
Mhm.
But in our part of the world, we were a poor country, poor
Yeah.
people. So we didn't have
We were
shredded
like the
beef.
Mississippi. We were like the Mississippi of America.
Yeah, in the
Of
50s
Sonora.
and 60s. So in Yuma, it was a small town, maybe about 10,000 people. San Luis was probably like 5,000 people. No electricity, no air conditioning, 40s, 50s. And so you'd go to the whorehouse, the red zone, a zona roja,
Mhm.
and outside of the zona roja was taco stand. But tell them what was unique about our taco stand.
With the potatoes,
They were potato tacos.
filling.
They were potato filled tacos, and that's unique to Yuma and San Luis. San Luis Rio Colorado, Mexico, and Yuma, Arizona, United States. We have potato tacos. It's like nothing you've ever tasted. So my dad, being the good Catholic that he is, he had to have a Catholic joke about everything. So back in 78, Pope John Paul II, around that time,
Oh yeah.
came to Arizona,
Oh, he went to Phoenix. Yeah.
Phoenix. And in the 70s, he came to Phoenix, and my dad would tell all the Catholics that he had sworn, that Pope John Paul II, the Vatican, had sworn they would never go to Sonora. And they would go, why? He came to Arizona, but why wouldn't he go to Sonora? And then my dad would throw in the punchline, because he found out they make tacos de papa. And they would get mad. Tacos de papa are potato tacos, but
Papa
is also the Pope.
is also the Pope. So,
So
and
that
we're working. Yeah.
My dad invented that joke, and it used to piss off all the Catholic family.
Oh, that's
We were
funny.
Jehovah's Witnesses, so we were used to people making fun of us. But the Catholics, they couldn't take a joke. That was funny. And my dad was an equal opportunity hater. He made Jehovah's Witness jokes and Catholic jokes. He joked about everybody. And one of the things that we notice about our dad from the 70s, what we remember as a child, he was the first apostate we ever ran with, huh?
Yeah.
Even though he was never an apostate, he was an apostate.
In many ways.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, Andy says when he thinks of the governing body, he thinks of a bunch of strawberries. So what did one strawberry say to the other strawberry?
Okay, hold on.
If we were not so fresh, we wouldn't be in this jam. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Now,
the TV isn't a real jam. Yeah.
Gilbert, it's time like this. Remember, that's the way Frank Sinatra used to talk.
Yeah.
Moments like this, maybe we should consider a content moderator. Maybe we should consider. Yeah. Look, you can cuss, you can fight, you can discuss.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna bring some humor to the table, none of this fresh strawberry shit. I mean,
who's the one yeah, but no, that was a good one. I liked it, Andy. Okay. Who's the one that told us the joke about the 144,000 going to heaven? The Jehovah's Witness in the room. Who
Yeah.
was it? Was it Dad or?
I can't remember, but that was a good one. I can't remember where I heard that joke, but that was a good one.
The Catholics would tell that joke.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
want to say
because
it?
see, they were like Peter Griffin. Yeah, we're number one. So this guy gets it to heaven. This guy gets to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Saint Peter in the pearly gates, and he
Mm-hmm.
wants it. He goes. He doesn't know if he's going to stay or go to limbo. So Peter takes him around. He goes. He's going to give him a tour, the grand tour.
Oh, because in my Father's house there are many abodes.
So they go through the
That's
first, and they go to this one door. And he goes, "What's in the first door?" He goes, "Oh yeah, you want to see it?" And he opens it, and it's Roman Catholics, and there's billions and billions of Roman Catholics. And then surprise! So Peter closes the door. And goes, "Wow, that is beautiful. Wait, there's still a lot of other rooms. Let's look."
Irish.
So they go everywhere. So they go to the second door, and it's a bunch of Protestants, all different denominations.
And the Irish, remember? The Irish are out there drinking and fighting.
The Irish, they got everybody. Everybody's up there, So they go through, and then they get to about like the 8th door.
Mm-hmm.
And then Peter goes, "Okay, stop. Let's tiptoe to the 9th door." Tiptoe to the 9th door. So they tiptoe, and they go. So they pass the 8th door, and they go to the 9th door, and they open it up, and it's all the people who never knew Jesus that were saved by grace. There's billions of people. And so he's enlightened. I mean, he's just beautiful. Heaven is beautiful. All these people are being taken care of.
In
So
the different
at the end
mansions.
of the day, Peter tells him, "What do you think? What do you like it up here?" And he goes, "I love it." Any questions? He goes, "I only have one question. When we were doing the tour, I think somewhere in the middle, like the 8th door or something, you told me to tiptoe. What happened?" He goes, "Oh," he goes, "the 8th door?" He goes, "Yeah, those are the Jehovah's Witness, and they think there's only 144,000 up here."
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Yeah,
That was the JW door. Yeah.
that was it. The Catholics would tell us that joke. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you first hear that joke, you could feel the blood, like.
And when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, we rolled with it, we laughed with it. But our Jehovah's Witness contemporaries hated that joke. And I think, looking back in retrospect, those were signs. They were signs of future things to come. And now
like the unknown comic. Remember the unknown comic on Chuck Barris's show?
Mm-hmm. When he said, because the other day I was walking down the street and a guy asked me if I wanted to be a Jehovah's Witness. And he says, "No, I can't. I didn't see the accident."
Yeah. Drum roll. That was the lamest joke, but yeah, I didn't see the accident. Yeah.
Yeah, now I will tell you this. Check this out. I learned this from the unknown comic and did it to the kid. So I have a walnut here, right? And check it out. So I'm gonna put it in here, and and now it's in my right hand. But check this out. The hard part is this. I put it back to my left.
Wow.
So I did it to the kids, and the kids are like looking at me like, I got that from the unknown comic. And the kids are like confused, man. They're little kids, and they're trying to figure it out. And one of them did figure it out. He's like, "No, I was always with that hand, but that was a joke.
Was it my grandson Josiah figured it out?
I think he figured it out. Yeah.
Hey, Gilbert, what about do you think did Andy tell you that joke?
No, Andy's not that sophisticated.
Oh, okay.
He's from Vancouver.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's from British Columbia, which really is the most beautiful place on earth, man. It really is, hands down. Shaq made it late, and so we'll probably have to put him on restrictions for the next video.
What does he say? What does he say?
He's just late, so so he'll be on restrictions. And all right, I think that's it, man. I can't believe it's already 54 minutes. And
Andy believed you. That Andy said that yes, Vancouver is the most beautiful.
No, it really, yeah, and the most beautiful place there is the Beach Art Gardens, which I think the woman who turned the concrete pit mine was a Jehovah's Witness.
Hey, Gilbert, this is a true story.
Crazy. Yeah,
when we go to Canada, we go with a bunch of contractors from Yuma and Arizona. And a lot of us were Mormon and Jehovah's Witnesses on the bus, huh?
Mhm.
So we're
On the
all
tour.
a bunch of contractors from Yuma, air conditioning contractors, and we're up there. Your wife, my wife, we're all up there on the bus and everything, and all the contractors from Phoenix, Tucson, and we're all having a good time. And that's a neat thing. Arizona was real small back then, so there was a camaraderie, huh? Almost a brotherhood. We all liked each other, and we're from different towns, different counties in Arizona, but it was like a small world because we're all in the same industry and everything, and we consider ourselves kind of like brothers, you know. And we're in this bus, and we're gonna go to Whistler, and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police came. We didn't know what was happening, and they took down all the luggage.
Mhm.
And of all the contractors of Arizona on that bus, tell them what they did. Who the only one they profiled? Remember, they escorted me out. They came in and they go, Jesus Gonzalez. And then I raised my hand. Can you come out? And they made me pick out my luggage, and they opened it up. And I
Mhm.
took out my leopard skin chonies and my pink fluffy.
Yeah.
I took out all my
You know,
all my perverted sex toys. I took everything out,
yeah.
My Rush Limbaugh books, my right wing extremism, everything. I had it out there. My King James Version Bible.
Mhm.
I know that pissed you off, huh? King James Version. Anyways, and so when I walked back into the bus, what did I say?
So
I've
you've
been
been profiled.
profiled, and then I
Yeah.
got a standing ovation from all the contractors. But you see, today somebody would get offended with it. We
Mhm.
had to roll with it. The fucking Canadians discriminated me, and I just threw it back at them. I had nothing to hide.
It's because your name is Jesus. Spelled Jesus. Yeah, they were like, mhm.
Yeah. The
Oh.
Canadians don't like Mexicans. Oh, tell them about when we were in Vancouver. They hate Americans.
Mhm.
So we told the taxi cab driver, remember, that we were Mexicans, and they
Yeah.
treated us like
Nice.
royalty.
We started speaking Spanish and everything. Yeah.
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 And then
And yeah.
the Mormons we were with, they were being discriminated against. They were wondering why they were getting dropped off in the wrong part of town.
Yeah. I learned that because when I went to Spain and I told everybody in the same group that, but I told them that I started speaking Spanish. Yeah,
Mhm.
man, talk about royal treatment everywhere. But man, once all of the other people on the tour that they were gringos, they just did not get treated the same for
So
some reason.
we told everybody in Canada that we were Mexicans, everybody in our tour and everything, and they treated us real good. And right when we were about to leave Canada, we told them Trump rules, fuckers, and then we flipped them off and ran.
Oh, yeah. King James helps me find the truth. Hey, listen, Andy, I don't have a problem with King James. I always go to Bible Gateway. I always look up the New King James.
No, I agree.
It's
Jimmy
just the
Swag,
only thing I have a problem is with people that want to be buried with it, and it's like, enough already. Tony, yeah, because have you ever seen those people that with the King James, they think it's salvation itself. It's the reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
Tracy is as wild as his character on that. We go anywhere. I'm like, let's go to the movie. We gotta go to the movie. I'm gonna take my shirt off. And we gonna make a scene. We gonna make a scene. Somebody gonna get pregnant. Oh, take it down a level. Take it down a level. We're gonna see Batman.
Hey, listen, I love the King James Bible, Andy. Yeah, and I'm glad you love it too. But all I'm saying, I was telling my brother Jesse, I love the King James Bible, but just tone it down.
I love the King James. Gilbert, the King James helped me walk again. Yeah. I always could walk, but it helped me walk better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, I that's the first thing I look at when I go to BibleGateway.com. I always look at it. I always look at the New King James. What does he say? One of the greatest songs, Spanish Harlem, sung by Arnold Dorsey, is one of the greatest songs ever.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem. It
Oh yeah,
comes
that
out
one, yeah.
In the sun. It goes, there is a rose in Spanish Harlem. A little rose in Spanish Harlem. It only comes out in the sun. And yeah, that's a beautiful song.
In 15 seconds, it's an hour. So yeah, that's it, guys. 14th of Nissan.
Okay, Gilbert.
And Yeah, we're already officially at 1 hour.
Okay, I'm gonna bail out.
Okay, yeah. No, it's just easier for me to use. I like Bible Gateway. It's just, and then also when I'm on my phone, it's just a lot easier, and for me, so I like it. And then I also like it the Spanish. It's easy for me to find the Spanish Bibles too, and so it's just easy for me. Probably because creature of habit. So, but I do like Bible Hub better when uh, you know why I like Bible Hub better because the Jehovah's Witness Bible says, "What does God want from us except to be modest when we walk with God?" But all of the other translations say humble. But it's really interesting that the Bible Hub. So I went in there, Bible Hub, and I like to play. I like to play around with the Greek words and the Aramaic. I like that stuff. But I do it privately. I don't like to do it publicly. But Bible Hub was one that did the translation, and one of the words was modest, and I like that. I like it, even though I know that everybody uses humble. But I grew up always learning, having that New World Translation. What does God want from you? Well, He wants you to be modest when you walk with Him. But humble's okay. But yeah, so I do love Bible Hub, but it's just Bible Gateway so much easier for me. It just really is. Bye, you guys, you too. And I love Engelbert Humperdinck, man. Damn, I love him. And I just love when you Engelbert Humperdinck does I love Brazil, the song Brazil. Just such a great version. And also We'll Meet Again. And oh my God, uh, man, Engelbert Humperdinck. I still get notifications from him. I'm subscribed to his channel. And he came out with a really brand new country hit about a year ago. And it's from a Motown hit, but he puts a country twist to it. And oh my God, I love Engelbert Humperdinck. I had a Bible Hub app, but had to delete it and use real Bibles. Yeah, okay. And his real name is Arnold Dorsey. But yeah, yeah, but what? So, but yeah, I still listen to him. And one of the latest videos he did, he sang with I think it was Pedro Infante's granddaughter. So the Mexican crooner, which was on par with Frank Sinatra in Mexico, his granddaughter's down in L.A. and she did a video with Engelbert Humperdinck in his channel, and they do a duet together. That was really special. Why do I know these things? I don't know. All right, guys, it's been over an hour, and we'll see you on the next one. And we'll try to write down some of my dad's jokes. I hope you guys liked them. And I also hope cuando. Yeah, I love cuando. Yeah, it's a real good one. There are two kinds of people. Oh, that's what my dad would say. There are two kinds of people, but those who like Neil Diamond and those who don't. Bye, you guys. All right, peace. We'll see you guys later, and hopefully have more jokes for you the next time.